I took some time to go through and pick out the best and newest BMW mods for BeamNG Drive in 2026, focusing on the ones that actually stand out in terms of detail, sound, and driving feel. A lot of these cars also come with features and configurations that you would not even notice at first glance, so make sure you pay attention to the details so you do not miss anything. And before we start, quick reminder. Around 80% of you watching are still not subscribed, so if you enjoy the video, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. Let's get into it. The BMW M5G90, a very large and luxurious modern M model from BMW. And just so you know, the sound is not broken. This car is actually a hybrid, so you can drive it in full electric mode and then switch the engine on. But as soon as you put your foot down, you still hear that brutal V8 sound coming through, which gives it that typical M performance feel. The car itself is very premium, starting in front of a luxury house driveway setup. And of course, everything is fully openable, including doors, hood, and trunk, revealing a highly detailed V8 engine bay. The interior is also extremely detailed, with fully functional buttons in the center console, an interactive digital display with switchable screens, and a very modern animated UI overall. You can also control almost everything in the car, like windows, mirrors, and the trunk, making it feel very complete and interactive. Overall, there are 60 different configurations, including some really unique ones like this rally-style version with a roof box, something you would probably never see in real life on an M5. Across all versions, you can switch between all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive, which makes a huge difference, especially when drifting, although with this much power, it still gets very difficult to control on the rear wheels. I do end up crashing here, but that also shows that the damage physics are actually quite solid. Personally, I prefer the sedan over the Touring in terms of design, but it is great that both versions are included in one mod package. My favorite configuration is the red one with the silver wheels, because the color combination just looks perfect. And since this is a BMW video, drifting is obviously a big part, and with drift steering equipped, the car becomes much more controllable and actually really fun to slide around. Next up, we have the direct contrast, an older version of the M5, the BMW M5 F90. It comes with a massive 156 different configurations, making it easily the most versatile car in this video. And that versatility is not just in the visuals, but also in the different engine tuning options, so there is really something for everyone here. Of course, all doors are fully openable, including the hood and trunk. And across the more standard versions, there are also some very unique setups that stand out a lot. For example, we get a safety car configuration with a fully working light bar, or even a drag setup with a parachute that is extremely fast. I do end up putting the car straight into a tree here, but that also shows once again that the crash physics are actually pretty solid. Next up, we have another more modern model, the BMW M2G87. Of course, you can fully open all doors, as well as the hood and trunk. And inside, we get a very detailed cabin with the large curved display setup that BMW is known for in its newer models. A lot of people have criticized the front design of the real car, but in this mod, we actually get a huge variety of setups, with around 47 different configurations, including multiple body kits and variations. And yes, there is also the new CS version of the M2, which sounds really good and also drives very well. My personal favorite is actually one of the CS configurations, specifically this green setup with white wheels, because the combination just looks extremely clean and unique. There are also some very special race-inspired versions like this Marlboro livery with slick tires, which is perfect for track use. On top of that, we also get a safety car version for MotoGP with a fully working light bar, as well as a drag racing setup with extremely wide rear tires that is surprisingly fast. I do actually mess up a bit here with braking, which causes a small mistake, but it still shows how capable the car is. And we also get several drift-focused versions with liveries like Monster or Red Bull, which are perfect for sliding around drift tracks. Next up, we have something a bit more normal compared to all the M models so far, the BMW G23 series. It is still a performance-oriented BMW, but not a full M car. It comes with a total of 13 different configurations, including a lot of tuned versions like you would expect. One of them is the M340. I pushed up to around 1,000 horsepower, which obviously can easily lead to crashes if you drive it too aggressively. But again, we also see here that the crash physics look pretty solid. Of course, there are also stock versions for a more relaxed driving experience. But my personal favorites are definitely the heavily tuned setups with extremely loud exhaust systems. I even managed to reach around 325 kilometers per hour on a very long straight with one of the builds. But when braking afterwards, I immediately noticed how hot the brakes get. Which makes sense since most of these setups are basically engine-only upgrades. That also means it does not always feel like a true M car in terms of balance. Of course, all doors are fully openable, including hood and trunk. And looking inside, we get the slightly older but still very clean and nice interior design. Next up, we have a slightly older model from the 3 Series line, the BMW M3E92 and E93, including the convertible version. Of course, all doors are fully openable, including the hood and trunk. And right away, you can see that the older interior is still very well modeled and detailed. Overall, this pack comes with 47 different configurations, including a wide range of racing versions. What I personally find really cool is that there are actually 2 versions of the race car. One with a worn, used look with scratches, and another one that looks completely fresh and brand new. So I take them straight to the racetrack to see what they can do. The V8 sound is absolutely amazing and really stands out, and the cars are definitely not slow either. Drifting is also possible here and feels quite natural. My personal favorite configuration is the orange BMW M3 with the beautiful silver wheels, which are honestly my favorite wheels on this model. And with that orange setup, it also reminds you a lot of the GTS version of this car, which is of course also included and drives really well. Before moving on, we also do a quick crash test, and honestly, the damage looks surprisingly realistic and well done. Next up, we have the perfect contrast to the previous one, the BMW M3E90. It is the same generation as the E92, but as a 4-door sedan with a slightly different design. The interior also looks very similar, but is still very well modeled. And the sound is basically identical to the coupe version. This mod comes with 31 different configurations, with not many stock versions, but instead a huge focus on tuning options. For example, there's even a drift variant with over 4,000 horsepower, which is honestly completely uncontrollable for me. On the other hand, there are also much more tame setups like the base 330i version. We also get some non-M variants, but at the same time, even engines that go beyond the original M setup, like a V10 swap from the Lexus LFA. And now I want you to tell me in the comments which M3 you prefer, the E92 or the E90. Next up, and if we're already talking about a V10, then why not go straight to BMW itself? In the same era as the E90 M3, BMW also built the legendary E60 M5 with its iconic naturally aspirated V10. And this mod brings that experience into BeamNG Drive with a massive 142 different configurations. Of course, all doors are fully openable, and the interior strongly reminds you of the 3 Series we just looked at, but still very well detailed and faithful to the original design. We also get touring variants, even with roof boxes for a perfect family trip setup, as well as sleeper builds that actually existed in real life, including heavily tuned G-Power versions with insane amounts of power. On top of that, there are also a lot of unique BMW special editions included. My personal favorite is definitely the G-Power configuration, which looks fairly normal at first but is actually extremely fast once you push it. Next up, we have the smallest car in this video, the BMW 1 Series, coming with a total of 24 different configurations. including slower base models as well as heavily tuned, high-powered versions with a really strong sound that can actually get surprisingly fast. As you can see here, I also end up crashing, but once again, the crash physics look very solid and believable. This particular version even sounds very similar to the M3 from earlier, which makes sense because it is running the same engine setup. Of course, that is not something that exists in real life, but in this mod it is used as a custom swap built for drifting. Personally though, I do not find it very easy to drift, and I would not really recommend it for that. Much more fun is the race version of the 1 Series with the large rear wing and high traction setup, which feels very stable, and even if you do lose grip, control comes back quickly. It is definitely a very fun car to push around a track. And if you want to go off-road instead, there is also a rally version that lets you properly drive on dirt and rough terrain. That's it for this BMW mods video in BeamNG Drive. I hope you enjoyed the selection, and let me know in the comments which BMW was your favorite. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.